Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Chat with Agege. This is your girl, Adeti Ladende. Yes. It's been a minute. And today I am going to be interviewing or chatting with Mr. Wale Rabiu. He is the founder of Great Matlock Bakery, the Agege bread, the sweet one that we all know. And I actually visited the Brampton location and the Mississauga location. And of course, I was gifted, or should I say, I tasted the chicken pie and the meat pie because I have not actually tasted that before with them, and it was definitely delicioso. Anyways, enjoy the interview, and don't forget to leave comments below. Don't forget to like and share. We do enjoy you guys' comment. We love to read your comments. So don't hesitate when doing so. Ask your questions. He's definitely going to be seeing it. And yeah, enjoy the conversation. Bye. Okay, so welcome back to Chat with Ade. I'm your host, Adeti Ladende. And then we have, how do I now break it down? Introduce you. Mr. Wale Rabiu. Rabiu. Okay, I need to say it with the accent. Rabiu.
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 Yes, Rabiu.
Mr. Wale Rabiu.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Yoruba is not the best. I'm trying. And then, of course, I know you're more than what a lot of people knows you as, which we will get into later. But most of us knows you as a businessman, and mostly in the sector of bakery, pastries, bread. And most people will go by Agege bread. And of course, we want to get to know the man behind that Agege bread, the Matlock Bakery. And we know it's not something that you just woke up one day and decide to jump into it, because most people's ideas don't even make it to the forefront, talk less of you're doing it and then you're flying with it, you're doing well with it. So we just want you to introduce yourself to our viewers so that they get to know the man behind the brand Matlock Bakery.
Thank you, Adeba. Thanks for the interview. Or thanks for the opportunity to be part of this interview. My name is Wale Rabiu, Adewale Rabiu, and I'm the CEO of Great Matlock Bakery, the business that I co-founded with my wife in 2018. So I introduced myself to people that I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a businessman, but the first business I even set up in Canada is not the Great Matlock Bakery. It's not the Agege Bread Bakery. No. My first business I registered was into business advisory, business consulting. Yeah, that's my first business in Canada. Because I have a IT background in my educational and my working experience too, because of my professional certification in project management. So that was the point I set up the business consulting and business advisory and business management company, and it's called Rubik's Consulting.
Rubik's Consulting. Yeah. And is that still still striving?
Yes, it's still striving. Just a couple of months ago, between May and September, I was part of the BEA, that is Black Enterprise Business Enterprise. Black Enterprise Alliance, yes. So that's a program between the Black Enterprise Alliance and the York University. So it was a food accelerator program. So I was a mentor to other businesses, Black, Arabian, even some Canadian businesses. Well, startups.
Yeah.
So I was the only Black mentor, the only African mentor on that panel. So it was a program between May 2023 and September. So we just finished the mentorship program last month. So of course I do it by the side, and I've actually helped a lot of other small businesses in the community to start up, and I'm happy most of them, not if I can't say all of them with all sense of modesty, are doing well in the chosen line of business. Because all of the ones I've had to help set up, they're still in business today.
Wow.
So if you look at even the other part of Grey Matter Bakery, which is the franchise businesses, what it entails is nurturing other businessmen to grow their business ideas too under our canopy of Grey Matter Bakery. So all of the franchise locations, 5 franchise locations that we have in Canada today, they still benefit from my mentorship, because how we've been able to grow the bakery the same way they have to do the same thing, and that's why they're all in business. After almost a year, all of them have spent more than a year, all of the franchise except for the one in Calgary that started 1st of April. I think the rest have spent a year, and for it to be in business after a year in this tough business environment, it takes a lot of hard work.
Yes.
So that is who I am generally. I mean, in short. So, and I take it with all sense of appreciation when people call me Agege bread. Yeah, because that's what brought all the limelight, not even the business consulting or business advisory part of my my business life. Is the Agege bread that brought us out into the limelight. So I appreciate it, but I'm not a baker. I just own a business.
Wow.
Produce and manufacture bread. Now we've ventured into the area of pastries. So our business location in Brampton, which is our head office, has actually diversified. We remodeled it into not just fresh bread for the community every day, but we now have pastries, Nigerian pastries, meat pie, chicken pie, sausage roll, and we're going to introduce other areas of Nigerian pastries in that location.
Like puff puff.
Yes, puff puff, donut,
Our favorite.
scotch egg,
Donuts.
stuff like that. The way, and I must say this, the way we eat it back in Lagos, back in Nigeria. If you can say that about our bread, you can say that about our cake, and people have tasted the meat pie, chicken pie, sausage roll, and they say yes, it reminds them of stuff like Lebanese, Mr. Biggs, so, and that's the same thing we're going to do with every other pastries. We're bringing back the Nigerian taste to Canada. We're not just going to the pastries world just to keep people what they are probably used to around there. No, we're taking everybody back home.
Cool.
This is how we grew up. This is how we used to know meat pie. This is how we used to know sausage roll. This is how we used to know chicken pie. And that's what we're introducing them.
Which is great. So even though you're far from home, they're still home in Canada. That's sweet. Oh, that donut is a must. Some of us are.
In the next couple of weeks, you'll be seeing that. At least you saw the meat pie and the chicken pie today. So.
Which was very tasty. So now you mentioned how you have a Calgary location. Of course, we know about the Brampton and then the Mississauga. Where are your other franchises?
Okay, we have 5 franchise locations in all. The first one we opened in Ottawa. So the Ottawa franchise is the one servicing the whole of Ottawa and Montreal and some other part of Quebec.
Yes.
So that was our first franchise location. Then the next we opened another one in Waterloo. So Waterloo is the one servicing the whole of the Waterloo region, Kitchener, Guelph, up to Hamilton, Niagara Falls, Burlington, and even up to some part of Brantford. So that particular franchise is taking care of those regions. Then we have another franchise location in Windsor. Windsor is a border city to the US, Michigan. So through the Windsor, we sell to areas like Senia, which is another border city to US on the other side, and we now sell into the US through the same franchise division. So into the city, Michigan, and most importantly, Detroit, which has a very large population of black people too. So I think that's our first official incursion into the US market. People have been coming from the US, coming to buy other food stuff, and they will ship the bread back. But ours as a bakery taking the bread to the US started from when the Windsor franchise opened. So that's our third location. Then the fourth one we opened was in Oshawa.
Oh, okay.
So Oshawa is handling basically other areas of GTA that in the east.
Okay.
So from Scarborough down
Ajax,
to Ajax,
Pickering,
Pickering, up to Kingston. Up to Kingston. So that's a Oshawa used to be serviced by our head office, but we had to seed that place when we opened that franchise. Because one of the things we do is to ensure all of the franchises have a needed market when they start, so that they can start and hit the ground running. Then the last one is in Calgary. We actually opened Calgary as a fully owned branch of the business in 2021, shortly after COVID. In fact, COVID was still on when we opened in January. But of course, we realized that when the business owners lives in the same city, is able to manage it better than us, flying back and forth. So April 1st, 2023, the new franchisee took over the business and has been running it even better than what we did in the last 1.5 years before he took over.
Wow. Oh my.
So those are the 5 franchise locations that we have across Canada.
So of course, the next question now would be, for anyone that is interested in becoming a franchise owner, what would be the basics, qualifications that you would say that they need?
Well, we actually have a pre-qualification criteria for all our franchise locations. So they are detailed, they are very explicit, and one of the major things we look out for is to ensure that the person has passion for business. Number one, you must be a business-oriented person. Then the next thing, you want to be sure that you are ready to get your hands dirty. Because to grow small business, you need to be hands-on. These are some of the major factors we consider in our pre-qualification of prospective franchisee. And again, you have the financial muscle to set up your own business, because it's going to be your own business.
Yes.
So, for example, the cost of the equipment is going to be borne fully by the franchisee. So that's one of the major things we look out for. Of course, interested, and for franchise locations, what we do is we have a footprint of all the areas we want to be. And we map them out. We do some territory delineation, and we now allocate. So, for example, before we go to a particular area, what we do is we ensure that we're selling into the market already. We ensure that we have some customer base there already. We ensure the market is growing, or we have grown it up to a point where whenever the franchisee takes over, is able to hit the ground running in terms of revenue, profitability, and all of that. Business considerations.
That's great. But then, what made you, like you said earlier, you're not a baker.
Nope.
And most people tend to think or believe, or the notion is, when you're good at something, you work at it and you push it and you go into it and you make it yours. And you're not a baker. I'm not even sure if you bake in the house at home. But then, what made you decide that you want to get into this, and then you have this old passion for it, and you give it your all?
I'm good at business, so that's why I call myself an entrepreneur. And I think in a couple of other interviews I've described myself as a serial entrepreneur. I've done several things when it comes to businesses. Before leaving Nigeria, one of the major things I did in terms of business was a poultry farm, and I had more than 25,000 birds at some point at the poultry farm. Giving us eggs of about 400 crates of egg, and that is 400 times 30 every day. Selling the egg to Lagos. We're shipping the egg to Lagos every 3 days, or 3 times in a week, and the whole of Abeokuta and some other neighboring cities or towns in Abeokuta, because the poultry was located in Abeokuta. So that's, for me, it's business. I have passion for business. Before we started the bakery, I couldn't fry puff-puff. So Even I don't think the last time my wife traveled, and my kid wanted what's it called, pancake.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to the freezer. I brought out those ready to eat pancake, and my daughter said, "No, I don't want that. I want you to make it from the scratch like mommy does." I said, "Okay, where is it?" So she brought out everything. I did make it. So at the end of the day, she called it scrambled pancake because I just couldn't maintain the flip flop.
Yeah.
We just mix everything together,
Your fried cake.
So I couldn't. I am not a baker, and I wouldn't like to take glory for what doesn't belong to me. I have professional bakers at the back there doing the job. They are the bakers. They're the one baking the bread. But of course, the person or one of the people behind the scene ensuring the success of everything that happens, of course, I would say yes, I am. My wife too is an integral part of that too. So I'm a business person. I'm an entrepreneur, and that's what I have passion for. I have passion for businesses, and I will tell people, you're right, that whatever people like to do, they go into business with it. They make, it's good. Maybe that would be right in for example, a field of like what you do. If you like passion for it, you do it. So yeah. But baking, I don't have passion for baking. I have passion for making money. Yeah, so that's it.
So was it that you looked at the environments where you were and you saw that, okay, there's a lapse, and you felt that this was one of the things that you could fill and would definitely be profitable? How did you decide that it was bakery that you should go into?
I'll keep it short, and I'll just tell you, it was just the gap in the market. When we arrived in Canada, there was no Nigerian bakery in the whole of Ontario when we arrived in Canada in 2016. That's when we landed in Canada. And we got to Ontario in August 2016. So there was no Nigerian bakery. And the closest was the bread from the Ghanaian bakeries.
Yes.
Which up to now still doesn't taste like.
Oh, it's not like ours.
Yeah, but then
managed it then.
That was the only one then. So we didn't manage it. We ate it. We enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And some people are still eating it, definitely,
Yes.
So, but it wasn't what personally. I am not too adventurous with food. I like what I like. What I don't like, I probably might not try it. If I try it and I like it, yes, I'll go on. But I won't just, So for me, I wanted something back home, and I've always been going back to Nigeria ever since I arrived.
Okay.
I arrived about 7 years ago. I've been in Nigeria more than almost 15 times. The next couple of weeks, I'm going back home. I love Nigeria. So I've never lost that taste of Nigeria. So it was able for me to compare that. No, this is not the. There's a way you get used to what you're eating in Canada. You probably feel, that is the original taste. But for me, it was not. I was spending 4 or 5 months and then I go back home. I taste better back home. It's not the same thing. So that's one of the. Just say, okay. There was a gap in the market, to answer your question straight, and that was just it. We saw a gap in the market, and anywhere you see Africa, they said out of 4 Africans, Nigeria will be 1. So anywhere you see Africa, that's it. So if you see 4 Africans and one of them is a Nigerian, you don't need anybody to tell you that the purchasing power will be that of Nigeria. So we knew quite right at that point that if we bring Nigerian bread that people like the taste, we will do well in the market. So the rest is history now.
History.
Yeah.
Wow.
This podcast is supported by Agege Connector, your first stop for graphic designs, mobile apps, websites, and many more.
Oh, Sax, good.
Oh, wow. Okay, now from the entrepreneur, a business mind standpoint, it's not easy, getting into business. And most people will think, okay, I don't have this lump sum of money to go into investment or, to start a business. What would you say to those people who would like to start something, but they feel like they're not capable for starting?
Well, I think at different, each time I have the opportunity to tell people, I'll tell them once you know you have a beautiful idea, you have a beautiful product, you have a beautiful service to offer, the least of your problem will be the capital. Don't let the capital be the reason why you will not follow your dream. And don't forget, I said once you have a beautiful product, which is good, you have a beautiful service, or you have a beautiful idea to sell, money will not be. Because the system, the world, the market needs such, and the market appreciates it too. You know, so money will come. You only need to let people that have the fund. There's so many idle funds sitting everywhere.
True.
You know, you just need to let people that have it, that have this idea. And I tell people, even before you even go into it, it's not, business idea is not something you just wake up one day, you sleep and you have a dream, and something will tell you, go and start the baby. No. It should be something that's been part of your life, something you've been thinking about for a while. And that a while doesn't have to be 10 years. It might be 6 months, it might be 3 months. You know, that idea will be somewhere there, you know. Papi want to, from back in school, they've been teaching us how to save. So I expect everybody should have some sort of savings. And that will be the first source of your business funding. If you don't have enough, of course, you can talk to family and friends. If you don't have enough, you can approach banks that are willing to, give you funds to start your business. You know, in this part of the world, you can have different types of financial institutions that are willing to, might be the first class banks. Might be the bill lenders, might be some of those other expensive lenders. Then you have your credit line, you have your credit cards to. And for me, I tell people for the first time, if it's not your fund, try to talk to family and friends. Share your ideas with family and friends. People might have some money that they're willing to invest. So instead of doing stuff like MMM, stuff that are not real, investment that are not real, people will be willing to put money where they can see real value. You know.
Wow, that's.
Then
good.
Again, in this part of the world, and I mean Canada, you know there's so many grants, there's so many opportunities for grants, so many opportunities for loans from government, and that should be explored too.
Okay, now going to that, a lot of people are in novice of these opportunities that are out there, because we tend, I would say, the Black community tend not to have access to all this information, and by the time maybe some do, they keep it to themselves, and by the time some find it, maybe it's going to be, they have 2 days that they need to submit. The deadline is like in a day or two, so they don't have enough time to actually put whatever they need to put together. What have you observed, that knowing that of course you're into business consultation, what would you say to that?
Well, whatever impediments that will affect not just the Black community, even any other person, once you're in business, I think part of my training is not to accept some of these things that limits you, some of those impediments, some of those constraints. It's not to accept them. That's why I started by saying, some people still tell you capital funding is a major problem, but I don't see that as a major problem, because I've gone through some stages in my business life that I realized that you only need to have that business ideas and the funding will come. So for me, I would say access to information is key. It's very important. But information will not just come and fly and land on your lap. You have to look for the information. If you go to the website of Government of Canada and you click businesses, you're going to see funding. You're going to see everything. It's always been there forever, So do we look for it? Do we talk to people that can help you? And I see people thinking that people don't come to realize the role of mentorship in business. No matter what you think of what I do today, no matter how you see the business, Even when I tell you that I have helped other people to start their businesses, even in my own line of business, to have helped people to start their businesses, I still have some people that I put a call through to ask for information, to ask for ideas, that I even bounce some of my strategies with.
Yes.
If I do this, what do you think? I have so many, do I call them now accountability partners? That even before I make some steps in business, I just give a call to them. What do you think about this?
Yes.
What do you think about this product? What do you think about this idea? If we introduce into what do you think? How do you think it will come out?
Yes.
People should be free or willing to have people, family, friends that you can ask questions. If you see opportunity for mentoring, take it. You'll be surprised when some established business will still tell you that, oh, that's my role model. You'll be wondering, wow, so you have a role model.
Of course.
And that is it. Today I look at some established businesses. Each time I have free time, and I always create free time for this, I go on YouTube, I go and study some established businesses or business people, to look at their profile, read their profile, listen to documentaries about how they've been able to grow their businesses, get books and read about and that's how to increase your knowledge, and that's how to access information.
Yes.
And for me, I don't think you have anybody to blame if there's a grant from the government of Canada and you're just getting to know 2 days to the end of when it will close, and where there's so many avenues, so many people you can talk to. You go online, there's so many information. You go on even on Instagram, you go and see a lot of people that are helping businesses, putting information out there, whether it's Canada vendors, whether it's Nigerian vendors. There's so many of those outfits. Even with what you do too, you put information out there.
Yeah.
So do people care to go and listen to your programs and listen to what other business people have said or what they're saying? And these are where you pick information from. So as a business person, lack of information or access for information should not be an excuse. So you're meant to do your research. You're meant to be abreast of happenings around your business environment. So that is how I would see that. I have what they call internal locus of standing. I don't think if anything negative happens to me, I take ownership. I take responsibility. I would not tell you that it's because that information was not available, because that's some of the things I learned in my master's in managerial psychology. So I have a master's in managerial psychology from University of Ibadan.
Master's in what?
Managerial psychology.
Managerial psychology.
Yeah, it's one program that is in University of Ibadan. University of Ibadan might be.
Wow.
And I'm not 100% sure about this, but I think it was the first university to introduce it in Nigeria. So I graduated psychology. So I finished that program in 2006. In 2006, So that's when I had that master's. So it's part of the things I learned, that you don't look within yourself for things that are wrong with you first before you put it on others. So if you're not able to access funds, you're not able to access information, what have you done to have that information? If you have not done, Yoruba will say, you have not, I don't know how to say it in English. Shagilogbe, Toguro Lofa, Didi Okwe, Ugbenu Soke. It's not going to fall. There's no free manna falling from heaven. You get what you put into life.
Interesting. Very well said. I hope you guys are listening to that. So when we say come and join us in Natiba Connector, join, there's information,
Definitely, yeah. There's a place. What you do, there's a way it spreads information. Like I said, I go on YouTube. Some people put their information there. If yours is there too, and I see that you interviewed business people that I respect or topic that catches my attention, I'll click on it and I'll listen to it. And that's how. If I tell you some business ideas that I actually got from watching news outfit, like maybe channels or Arise, interviewing some people, and they just throw some information out there. I said, wow, this is a good business idea, So that's why what you do is very important, even helping business people too.
That's what we do. That's what we like to do.
and because we're trying to, if not the influx of Nigerians alone in Canada in the past like 5 years is has skyrocketed, as you've seen. So it's so good to see,
Yeah.
because being here for so long, we didn't really have much of that. So being able to see Nigerians coming in, and no matter where they are, they always do well. So it's not like a surprise that Nigerians are doing well, no. But
Yeah.
it's to be the proud, just being proud, and just be happy that we are seeing more of our people
Yeah, yeah.
represented.
Yeah.
And when the ones that are born here, like us, that we didn't have too much representation, and we're seeing that representation, and we know our children's children will also see representations of themselves in different sectors of life. It's so well done, because you can only see as far as maybe you see the other person.
That's
you know
correct.
so when you always see just newscasters are like they're Caucasians, or you're seeing pilots are Caucasians, teachers are Caucasian, you would think that it's only them that can be there.
Yeah.
But when you're now seeing yourselves, or seeing people of your color,
Yeah.
and then of your nationality there, you're like, oh, okay, this is definitely something I can aspire
do, yeah.
to do. So it's definitely a plus for the Nigerians coming in, and in any way, anyhow, avenues we can have more coming. Please, Canada is huge. We still need us to spread out, not just in Ontario, to spread out some more. And I adore the fact that, you are spreading this bread, this Agege bread, because it's like, we mentioned before earlier, we have to just eat what we have. You manage what we have. But when you are able to have that taste of home, and Canada is not where you just decide you just want to quickly go and come. It's quite far. We know that. It's not like London.
When you're in London, yeah, you're right. You're right.
So to be able to have, at least a taste of Nigeria here, it's definitely a plus in all avenues, in all ways. Anyhow, when I interviewed the plantain chips, right? Forgot the name of the brand itself.
Goat chips.
Goat chips,
Yeah.
and they also mentioned how you guys communicate, and also
Yeah, sure.
you're a role model to them too, and it works both ways.
Definitely.
We encourage one another, we clap for one another, and you push one another to to attain that greatness that can be attained.
Yeah.
Which is great. And we're about to round up, but what words would you say you want to give to those who are watching, and what is your motto? Well, sometimes when you're overwhelmed, you feel like, what, this is, you're seeing blockages, and you're just like, okay, I don't know if this is going to work. What, motivates you to keep pushing?
Okay, I'll break it down this way. When we started this bread business, we had so many challenges that we thought. There were times I thought, wow, can't I just, why did I run? And there were points that I told myself, and I even mentioned to my wife, that if I have to start all over again, I will choose something else and not bread.
Right.
It was that difficult at some point. So that we're not telling people that it's all bed of roses. No, it's not smooth like that. It wasn't. Very difficult times at some point, And the fact that even the days that you think sales, imagine you're selling ice cream and you open your store and people are not coming to buy. Let's say today, yes, you just 2-3 people walked in to buy your ice cream to eat it, Then the next day, 10 people came. That's, and although your target might be 40 people, 50 people, but the fact that some people are still, buying it, shows that you have something, you have a product, and that encourages me too in business. When we started this business, I used to do the delivery myself. I was still working at Rogers then. He said that that's what the people don't even that. But I didn't come to Canada as a baker. I came as an IT person, having spent almost 15 years of my work life in Intel. So I got to Canada, I got a job with Rogers, and I was in Rogers for for 3 years. So while I was working in Rogers, I was delivering the bread myself. It was difficult getting people to work.
Yeah.
You know, you can imagine all those difficult times. I now get to a particular store, and I won't mention any store now because I have so many of them now. It would be nice to just mention one here. So, and you see people waiting, and as soon as you're dropping the bread,
they're grabbing.
they're just grabbing. Some will smile, some will say thank you, some will look at you and just ease at you. You wasted my time. I've been waiting. But irrespective of their whatever they said or their expression, the fact that they still grabbed the bread was enough encouragement for me then. That wow. So despite wasting, some people had to wait for almost 23 minutes, 20-30 minutes in some stores. Maybe I would just be leaving Brampton those days, and so, then there's no how you can start the business in Canada, in Toronto, if you don't have your customers in North York. That's where we have a lot of Nigerians, concentrated. So driving from Brampton there could take around 1 p.m. when I'll be on my break time to go and deliver the bread. Would take almost 30 minutes. So that's how long some people waited to pick up your product. So you don't need any prophet or any man to tell you that you have a good product. So while there are challenges that are discouraging you, frustrating you, but the fact that people are still waiting to pick your product is a source of encouragement. That no matter what these issues are, once you're able to navigate them, there's always light at the end of the tunnel, And I think that's what I tell people. No matter of the challenges you experience growing your business, it's never easy. Well, ask everybody that have been running or that are currently running successful businesses. They'll tell you their stories. You know that there are times some people. If you heard the story of, I read the story of Microsoft. Some of the guys that decided to get that pull out and sold, but the guys that stayed in and enjoying it today. So it's easy to pull out. It's easy to give up, but don't give up. But if you don't have a good product, I won't say don't give up. But the fact that you have a good product, you have a good service, you have a good idea that the world needs, please don't allow all those challenges to frustrate you. You will navigate around the challenges, and you will have a successful business if only you can persevere.
Persevere, y'all.
Yeah, that's the word, perseverance.
Perseverance.
And it's a continuous growth, a continuous improvement. I tell people, yes, there's been a lot of publicity around what we do, but still, we have not even done anything. We have not even scratched the surface yet, and that's the way I see it. We have not even. We signed a contract with Loblaws. Loblaws have about 1,500 stores. We're not even in 300 of the Loblaws stores yet. So we have not reached anywhere. We're not we're not yet in Walmart. So what are we talking about? So we have not even gotten to anywhere. So there's still a lot of job to do. But it's always good to they say appreciate the days of little beginning. And that's why we won't take anything for granted. We know we've done a bit of touching the community, and I'll say this again. There's no how we talk about this success without talking about the Nigerian community that embraced the bread from the scratch. We started from the Nigerian community. If our people have rejected our brand, we probably won't be where we are today. So I would not finish this interview without saying again to the Nigerian community, thanks for your acceptance of our brand. Thanks for making us to be where we are today. Thank you.
Thank you. And one more question before we call it an end. For those who would think that, competition. Because I see it. You can have like 2-3 different like pizza stores on the same street. And no one is stepping on anyone's, territory. Let me put it like that. But we blacks, we tend to have an issue when, maybe we have a restaurant and then we have another African that has another restaurant, down the street, down the block. And we now start seeing it as, why did they come here? Or they don't want me to sell? Or, why? Do you have an idea why that is? And if indeed it does stop the other individual from making sales or making profits? Okay,
I'll just tell you what I believe in. What people will believe in what they want to believe in. But for me, I believe in the sky is big enough for all birds to fly. If I told you that there was a bakery in this GTA that I helped to set up. Is a Nigerian bread too.
Yeah.
So that's to tell you, I don't believe anybody. I don't like unholy practices in the marketplace. I won't do it. But it doesn't mean there can't be as many Nigerian bread in Ontario as you can. If you believe you can navigate through it's okay. If you walk into a typical supermarket in Canada, let's say it's No Frills, Rick Canada Superstore, or Walmart, you're going to see up to 20 different types of bread. Customer walk in and pick what they want.
Yes.
No, you're not going to force your product on anybody. People like what they like. You're not going to change that. You know, and that's what I believe in. So our target has always been to improve on what we're doing, keep getting better on what we do, so that the customer will continue to choose our brand. That's what we target. We don't even look at. We look at people in front, definitely.
Yeah.
You know, obviously we check those are beside us too. You know, but when you keep to improve on your own performance, you're likely going to be beating others. You know, for someone that is running 100 meters in 9 seconds, 9 minutes, 9 seconds, 9.9 seconds. By the time you do it in 8.99 seconds, you know that there's tens of other athletes that you've dropped behind.
Yes.
Or by the time you have Usain Bolt running in front of you, and you're chasing Usain Bolt, you know that you're leaving some other people behind. And that's how we operate. We look at the big stores, we look at the big bakeries, we look at the Wonder Bread, we look at Dempster.
Yes.
And we try to take as much as we can from the market share of what they want.
Yes.
So if we keep doing that, definitely we're progressing.
Yes.
Others too have opportunity to go if they want to go. So there's no reason saying others cannot go into the business. No, if you know you can navigate the business environment, you're free to, you know.
You hear that? So don't be beat down by competition.
No. Competition is even good for business. It keeps you on your toe. It keeps you, and at the end of the day, consumers enjoy it. You know, that's what it does to the marketplace. Consumer becomes the king. Apart from making you as a business person to be better, as a business, the consumer gets to enjoy all the improvements in the market, in the product, and in the services.
Yes, definitely. And then, okay, one more thing. This came to my mind. Okay, being around a lot of the Nigerian businesses, I tend to find a handful of them customers' complaints. And it's not more than just customer service. It's not even so much about the product or what they're selling, but it's more of the customer service. What would you say in regards to customer service when you have a business?
If you can't deal with customer service, or if you can't incorporate customer service, or if you don't appreciate customer service into your business, then you probably don't have a business. It's just a matter of time. People go to where they are appreciated. Customers will move if you don't attend to their. And I'll bring it back to how you started customer complaints, which is very key aspect of customer service. Customers will always have one or two feedback for you, whether it is good, bad, fair, or terrible. I used to work with a boss in my days in MTN that would say, take feedback. You know, when you're in the meeting room with your other colleagues and somebody's complaining and it's affecting you negatively, and you're saying, don't defend yourself. Just take feedback. And that is what I grew up in my career and my business life to appreciate. Always take feedback. You can only improve if you take feedback. Whether it is positive, it is negative. If it's positive, you don't want that person that gave you positive feedback to come tomorrow and give you a negative feedback. If it's negative, you don't still want him to come back and give that negative. You want to improve, or you don't want someone else to see that bad side of you that someone else has brought out. Which is where human beings, we're not perfect.
No.
So if you have a product today and a customer comes and give you a feedback about the product, take it. Look at what can be improved. I'm not saying 100% of the time the complaints are legitimate, but that is not your problem. Take the feedback, deal with it. You know, recently a customer called me, we bought this one, we bought that, we thought something has changed. What is it exactly? I needed to describe, and I tried to explain to the customer, I don't want to argue. I don't want you to see it as if I'm arguing with you. No. But I want you to be at least, don't tell me something was wrong. But if you can bring it down so that what we can deal with, we can investigate and look at how we can improve so that you're happy the next time, And that is what we do with that's what we do with customer complaints. We want the feedback. So some people we are asking me, why do you have your number on the package of your product? I said, because I still want to be, we're still a growing business, and I still want to know what is happening. I don't want anybody representing our business anywhere to shield us from having direct contact with our customer, especially when it comes to complaint and feedback. Most importantly, negative feedback. I want to know. If it's good, please tell other customers. If it's good, go on social media, share it. If it's bad, please call us. Let us deal with it. And we will assure you that we take feedback and we deal with it in a positive way.
Yeah, well said. Thank you. So we need you guys to realize that customer service is key in keeping that business running, because they are the ones you're feeding, right? They're the ones you're servicing. So don't take it lightly. Please, let's tone down the attitude that we see in businesses, or we also get complaints. And, we do our best to try to reach out to any businesses that, we're getting complaints from and try to give them that feedback. Some of them use it, some of them don't, but it would be great if you can all use that feedback, because at the end of the day, is to keep that business running and to better service the customers and the clients. So we want to say thank you again to Mr. Wait, I want to be able to pronounce it properly with the accent. Mr. Wale Rabiu. Hey! My Yoruba is getting there.
They're trying.
Yes, now I'm trying. It's not easy now. It's Jamo we did speak before. So we want to appreciate you for your time. We know you're a busy man. You know how long it took me to get this van? Oh boy, it took a couple of months. But I want to say thank you so much, for creating the time. And I know I'm going to be going home with some Agege bread. I'm prophesying it right now. And
I take that to the bank. You can't come to the house of bread and you walk out without bread.
It is not possible. And I tried the chicken pie. Oh my goodness, it was so good. I still have meat pie I'm going to try, but believe me, I'm sure it's going to be as tasty. Don't forget to patronize. You already know about the locations in Brampton, in Mississauga, we have in Calgary, in Oshawa, in Ottawa,
Windsor,
Waterloo. Yep. Yes. So if you have your friends, your family members out there and they're looking for bread because I used to get that so many times before. They say, don't we have any bread that is like Nigerian bread? I say, the one that is close is the Ghanaian bread. Just that's the closest we used to have. So now I can say, yes, we have. One question I even forgot to ask before we finish is, where did the name Grey Matlock, where did it come from? How did you come about that name?
Are we still having the interview? I thought you're done.
No. We need to answer that question before I will shut down. Where did the name Grey Matlock come from?
Okay. For us, grey means wisdom.
Ooh, not because of some grey hair.
Of course, when you say man with a grey hair, you think, wow, this man must have wisdom. So that's where. But the real Matlock itself, for a couple of months, my wife was in the US, in the Dallas, in the city of Dallas. So there's a town, Matlock. I think it's in the Arlington region or thereabouts. I was there a couple of weeks too. I think I spent about 6 weeks in that town. So that's where the Matlock, I just like the Matlock. Wow. That's where we had our second born, So that's when she went to, have the baby in the US, So that's where I picked it up. So I've always liked that Matlock. So, and I was just looking for something to name that our daughter around.
Yes.
So I wanted, because when we got married, we were supposed to have, or we're planning, we thought and we believed it was going to be a girl. But for some reason, it became a boy. So we had a business that we named in Nigeria. And it was a girl's name that we used to name. But we thought it was going to. So at the end of the day, the boy came. So we still wanted another business that would be something around a baby girl, So Matlock is a town in the US.
Yes.
It's in Dallas, you know. So yeah,
Interesting.
then great. So great Matlock Bakery. And his bakery is bakery.
Yeah, bakery is bakery for
yeah.
sure. I used to be like Matlock.
A lot of people have asked me that question.
Yeah, like,
Is it, did you buy an English, an Oyibo
yeah.
business? How did you get the name, you know? Well, we just sadly, people sit down and form the name of businesses.
Yeah.
And for us, when anything that that has to do with our business, we sit down, we deliberate, we discuss, we sit down and see we're in the board meeting,
Yes.
and we talk about what we want to do, and that's how we form the name.
Good Matlock Bakery.
Yeah.
So thank you once again for watching this interview. Don't forget to leave a comment if you have questions, and follow their Instagram page at
Great Matlock Bakery.
Great Matlock Bakery. And patronize, eat more bread. And we have puff puff coming. We have a
sausage.
sausage.
We have sausage already. We have puff puff coming. We have donuts coming. We have Scotch egg coming.
Scotch egg coming, you guys.
We have sardine bread coming.
Oh wow! For the sardine lovers, that's for you. Definitely, this was a great interview. Thank you so much for your time once again, and we're definitely going to be seeing more often.
Sure.
And eating more bread, like I always do.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye.